Hello, everyone. This is Highlander from MTG Cardsmith doing another custom Magic the Gathering card review. And today I have my special guest Islandsnake with me.
Hey everybody.
And today we're reviewing a card by ShadowReign called Xanmire Bloodthirsty Tyrant. I might be pronouncing that wrong, but I think that's right. All right, so we got a 6 mana 4/4 legendary vampire noble at Mythic. It's got First Strike and Lifelink. And we even have a reminder text for the lifelink. Look at that.
Wow.
Whenever Xanmire Bloodthirsty Tyrant deals combat damage to a player, target land that player controls becomes polluted. Its controller loses 1 life whenever it's tapped for mana. Okay.
I really
Uh,
like the way that this person formats their cards.
yeah, I mean this is how you correctly format cards, and this is why like I always harp on people that don't format their cards correctly because like when you look at a card like this, it's so pleasing, like to just look at this card because like all the text is like done correctly, like it fills out the card really nicely, the art matches with it. Um, like everything works together to make this card like a very pleasing card, right? Whereas like if you when we were looking at like Scooter, for example, I mean, it uses like an in-game screenshot of a dude,
Hmm.
and it's just distracting, right? It's like all you're looking at is like, oh, this is like kind of ugly, but like here, it's like everything works together really nicely. So, um, yeah, very, 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 very good presentation wise. Um, okay, so pay 10 life, put a +1/+1 counter on Xanmire Bloodthirsty Tyrant for each polluted land your opponents control.
So I guess this is one of these things where I have to remember that Commander has 4 players or a lot of players potentially.
Yeah, this one
Because I feel
definitely.
like this card is not that good in 1v1.
No, this is definitely a commander card because of the pay 10 life. Like,
Yeah.
you
Also,
would.
because like if once you attack enough to like if you attack somebody like 4 times and they're still alive, like like you have to deal so much combat damage to get a decent amount of +1/+1 counters going, right? So
That's true, yeah.
unless you have other ways to like unless there's other cards that pollute land, uh in that case it might be easier to build up the
Yeah, but
counters.
I don't know if we could take that into account when we're
Yeah,
when we're
exactly.
reviewing this card. This is definitely a lot more complicated than the other ones we've seen. Um, and you're right. I forgot that this thing had lifelink. So the pay 10 life is like not that insane. It's still better in Commander than it would be in 1v1. But like 4/4 is for 6 is like not that huge. So like I don't think this card would really ever see like standard play, for example, because
No.
like when you play a 6 mana card in standard, like you better be doing something good, right? And this card doesn't really do that. Like you play it, you get a 4/4, and it doesn't really start doing things until you like actually get like multiple hits in. Um, so this is definitely like a commander card, right? Uh,
If it built up like pollution counters that you could place on land when it did damage, period, that would be one thing. But like if they just chunk things to prevent you from building up polluting counters, like you're never going to be able to pay 10 life to
I
make
mean
this thing big.
that is true, but if they're chumping, they're like losing cards, card
Yeah,
value.
that's true.
So
I mean, and you're also gaining life too. So I don't know. I don't know.
yeah,
It's not bad. I just think that like it's definitely a commander situation, I
yeah,
guess.
I have to say, like this one, I have a couple issues with this one. I think I think that this card, it'll be hard to get this card going because of the fact that it's only 4/4 at 6 mana. Like, yeah, it has first strike, but like at 6 mana, I mean, people are playing like, you know, I mean, you can play like a Grave Titan for 6 mana, right? And if you play
Yeah,
Grave
that's
Titan, you're
true.
getting a 6 mana 6/6 with Death Touch that makes two twos, and every time it attacks, you get two more two-twos, right? Like
Yeah,
that's what you could
that's
be doing with 6 mana. And then this, you play this guy, and he's like, "Hi, I'm a little 4/4 with first strike and lifelink," and the Grave Titan just laughs at you, right? And the Grave Titan does something immediately when you play it, whereas this guy actually has to get like damage in. And the other issue I have with this card is that like I don't like this polluted idea is cool. Like I like it's like I like this idea of like you polluting a land so they lose life whenever they tap it. But I don't get why a vampire does that. Like, why is a vampire polluting lands? You know, I mean, it's not inconceivable, but it's just like it's not the flavor there doesn't really combine all that nicely. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess so. I kind of like wrap vampire and like generic undead effects too. Like they're not just bloodsuckers; they also usually have like other undead like corrupting abilities. So it doesn't bother
Yeah,
me
but
too
this
much.
doesn't say
It's
corrupted. It
called
says polluted.
pollution. That
Yeah.
that that is true. That is true.
If it said corrupted, that would be different. But it says polluted,
Yeah,
and
that's true.
I don't see why this guy pollutes things. Is my only issue. So yeah, I mean, so okay, so from a design standpoint, I think this card's perfectly fine. Like I have no issues with the design. From a power level standpoint, I think this card's pretty weak. Uh, and from like a flavor standpoint, I'm a little off put by the polluted thing on this guy. So yeah, I'm tempted to give this one a 3 out of 5 because of those issues that I mentioned.
Yeah, I'm leaning there too. Polluted is not an official mechanic, right? Because
No, it's
I think
not.
we've seen it before as well. Or
I,
you, in one of your earlier videos, I believe
yeah,
you.
it's I've seen other people do similar things. Like the Arceus made a card that was like a polluted something or other that did something similar. It was like whenever you tap it,
Okay, so it's
it
not
does
like
more
an
damage to
official
you.
thing though.
It's not an official thing, no.
I
It's
do
just
like the mechanic.
yeah,
So
I
like, here's
agree.
the problem, right? Like I guess the pollution thing is a little bit off theme, but like if pollution became like a pseudo mechanic, then I can forgive it because it's bold text pollution and not pollution. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Um, so in this case, I'm a little bit torn on that. So I think I'm gonna have to give it like a 3 out of 5.
yeah, yeah. I really want to like this card because it looks really nice, but I just think there's a couple issues with it that it doesn't quite completely come together for me. Like what? Yeah, there are some scenarios where you like play this and you'll get like like you said, you have to hit with this card 3 times for it to like really like actually start doing things, right? Because it's like you hit with this guy. If you hit with this guy once, you gain 4 life. Then you pay 10 life, and now I guess you can pay this repeatedly. So like, okay, so in Commander, let's say you hit this with this guy once, you go up to 44. Let's just say you've never been attacked yet. Of course, this is
Okay.
6, so that's unlikely, but still, right? And now you pay 10, and this guy becomes a 5/5, and you're at 34 life. You pay 10 again, you're at 24 life. This guy becomes a 6/6. You pay 10 again, you're at 14 life. This guy becomes a 7/7. And
Mhm.
then uh, now when he deals damage, you gain 7 life, and then you get one more pollution counter. But now you've paid so much life that it's like pretty risky to pay more life. Um,
If he got land walk equal to like the type of land that he's polluted, I think I would like this card more. So like that way, if you're playing commander and like people are fighting and you get one hit in on one player, and that player has like like a swamp, and now you have swamp walk. So now it opens up an easier path for you to build up these counters, because otherwise I don't see you ever being able to like, I mean, maybe I just don't play enough Commander or normal Magic these days, but
yeah,
like hitting someone more than 4 times in a game and the game's still going, unless you're like like a little blue bird that no one cares about. Like I feel like no one's gonna let you just hit them with this card
right, right. Yeah, of course not.
unless it has like some kind of land walk or
Yeah,
something like
that's
that.
the thing. If this card was like cheap, like if this for example was like a 3 mana like 2/2, that did like similar things, then I actually think this card would work better because you're more likely to actually get hits in. But at a 6 mana 4/4, it seems really unlikely that anybody will ever let you hit them with this card. So yeah, yeah, I think I have to go with a 3 out of 5 on this one. I like a lot of the ideas here, but it just doesn't quite come together for me.
I agree.
Okay, that's our review of Xanmire Bloodthirsty Tyrant. Thank you for watching.